So this is what a boat that's been submerged since Hurricane Sandy looks like.
Diana, you are chasing what is sounding like an ongoing story of a boat graveyard, this one near Coney Island.
Say goodbye to the decaying boats in New York City's waters, or at least some of them.
There's another boat in between the pilings along the shoreline. Here's another boat right here. There's something else a little bit further out, which if I was to guess what it is, I'd say it's probably a boat.
3 years later, and the mess from Hurricane Sandy still lingers throughout New York City in the form of a massive boat graveyard. Just take a look at some of these shots here. You can see hundreds of crumbling vessels potentially leaking fuel and oil into the waters of the Big Apple. But now that's beginning to change. New York City's Park Department using about $2 million from FEMA to remove and dispose of the disaster. But the big question, of course, what took so long? Well, as with most things, it was money.
It takes a long time to vet out different vendors and to do the bidding process to get the best price on doing debris removal.
The winning bid ended up going to Custom Marine, who you can see doing the job here. The workers first started in the Bronx, removing shipwrecks from there, and earlier this month, they made their way to Gerristen Beach in Brooklyn.
So right now the count is we have 16 vessels on deck.
Wow. The work in this area is expected to be complete in January, but chances are you'll still be seeing boats. Experts telling me the area has become a dumping ground for used up boats, and FEMA has no responsibility to pick them up. What about this boat here? You said that it just popped up out of nowhere.
I don't believe that boat was on our original list.
He thinks a whole DMV-like system should be done for boat registration because, you know, the registration ends up getting wiped off these boats and you can't find the owner.
How do they know the difference between a sandy boat and a boat that somebody just dumped?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So this process, when it first began 3 years ago, the Parks Department went and surveyed the area and counted how many boats were there. So they got a basic estimate for how much money they needed for FEMA. FEMA approved that money. Since they've been there just early this month, they leave to go home and they see more boats popping up.
We know that there's people randomly dumping boats. Now there's boats just randomly showing up. Why isn't this being patrolled?
Guys, this has been going on for decades with not boats, but full-bore ships at the Arthur Kill Ship Graveyard down in the southwest corner of Staten Island. I'm talking about Staten Island ferries, tugboats, things that would make 10 of these boats look like nothing at all, and the city government knows all about it. Why is this an outrage when full-bore ships have been rotting off Staten Island forever?